according to an ex-Trump aide, Vice President Kamala Harris, even though she has extreme credentialing, experience, and education, that she was in fact a DEI hire. Here it is.
Bottom line here is that it's going to go to Kamala, if anybody, because she was a DEI hire, and she was hired because President Biden said when he was a candidate that he wanted to hire a woman to be his number 2, and then after the BLM riots, then he got a lot of pressure to have a black woman from a lot of black women's groups, and he did that. And now it's very tough for them to push her to the side because there'll be a lot of groups very disappointed, black Americans, black voters who are just going to think that they're moving around her for somebody else for political reasons, and it's really her turn if he steps down.
Okay, the DEI thing I strongly disagree with here, but this is not my place to have the disagreement with you, it's Alice's. So Alice,
yeah, you shouldn't talk, John. You shouldn't talk like that. It makes you sound like a racist. Don't talk like that.
Look, it's the party that embraces DEI. Those are the guys that put identity above qualifications.
Don't talk like that. Listen.
They put identity above qualifications. Sir, a white male in America with a high school diploma, according to the data, is more employable than a black male with a college degree. These extremes, I'm talking about fact versus what they say on TV. These extremes do not actually correlate. The data does not pan out. And why would, whatever your political issue is with VP Harris, that's fine. It's politics. We can debate, we can discuss. But qualifications, what standard are you utilizing? She's been an elected official statewide, has significant education, background, et cetera. What vice president would be, I guess, actually qualified? What would the qualification standard be? Now, this is not the only conservative that has said this. Here it is.
In a box where they've got to choose between a mentally incompetent president and a DEI vice president.
And with DEI hiring, in which demand exceeds supply, always, that's just the way it is. You're not going to find another Kamala.
Just let her be who she is. She's a very unserious person. She has not succeeded in anything she's done. As I mentioned, this is the great example of affirmative action. This is a great example of DEI. We're talking about a person who has a skin color, but skin color does not denote merit, does not denote competency. And she is a very incompetent person.
Sir, you're a DEI hire for sure. Because do you believe that Kamala Harris was elected because folks said, we need a DEI hire here? And the reality is this: diversity, equity, and inclusion are all very positive things. When did this become a bad terminology? Oh, when Trump told y'all it was. That's when it became, oh, I got you. Because there was a time when Republicans embraced diversity, equity, and inclusion. Remember George W.? All right, Sharon, thoughts here.
I remember when his father gave us perhaps the most unqualified person on the Supreme Court ever, Clarence Thomas. I just have to say it to the black gentleman there too. What he speaks of wrongly about Kamala Harris is really him. He's really describing himself. He's not qualified. They turned DEI into the new N-word, and people are buying it hook, line, and sinker to explain why they are not where they wish to be in this life. And some of those people deserve to be further along. But the Trump and MAGA train of the 1%ers win at all cost is keeping them down. So they're blaming black people again.
That's right. There you go. All right.